excellent condition. It won't stay that way for long. Nice. 4 so far. 4, okay. Link, paste, post, created. Excellent. YouTube is working. People are here. Discord is working. People are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 out of 5. Let's get this party started. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, who is who? We got Andre. There. Angel? No. Oh, Angel's online. Okay. We were expecting him in person. That's okay. Leonardo. You prefer Leo? Okay. Leo. Is here. Litzy is there. Well, let's see. Christian with a K. Not here. Gina is online. There. Jose Luis. Not here. Jocelyn is online. And that means you are Marichelle? Marichelle. If you know my first name, you know why I pronounced it that. All right. Welcome to the first day of this mess of the year. Right? It's going to be a roller coaster of a ride, but we're going to get through it and learn something along the way. All right, so a little bit about me. My name is Mr. Apple. I went to University of Notre Dame and studied physics first. Then went to Concordia, Chicago, and got certified to teach math and physics. So that's a bit of where I'm coming from. As you may have noticed, especially looking around the room, I like Batman. He's my favorite superhero. Despite not having any superpowers, he keeps up with the best of them. and does an amazing job. I think that's something we can all strive to do, is do incredible things, even as regular humans. I think math can be fun. I like playing games. I like learning. I love combining the two. So in geometry class especially, we're going to do a lot of thinking games throughout the year. I'm totally open to any and all questions at any time. Feel free to shoot me an email whenever. Although I will not wake up at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night to respond. But you can always find me on the Discord server now to see when I'm actually online or not. In addition, I think you realize that everybody has a bias of some kind. So I prefer to be upfront about it, just in case the topic does come up. You know where I'm coming from. You can interpret as necessary. Right? So despite us being in a Catholic school, I am in fact a Lutheran, which is one of the Protestant Christian denominations. I believe all the same major theological things Catholics do. I just don't think the Pope really has anything to do about it. Politically, I go libertarian, which basically means I don't like the Democrats or the Republicans. They both screwed things up, and so I'm looking for a third option. That's where I stand on this. And now I want to know about you. So here's what you're going to do. We're going to go around the room, and then we'll get to Discord folks. You're going to stand up, you're going to introduce yourself. Tell me your name, and tell me why you are awesome. Right? Just one thing. Come up with something you're proud of. Something you've accomplished, something you do, a skill you have, an interest you're passionate about. Right? I can tell you I'm awesome because I know a whole bunch about that now. Right? Hey, I went to university. That's an accomplishment. I survived summer school. Right? Well, especially for the teachers. We tried out this whole schedule ordeal. That was intense. Maybe play sports, do something, right? What are you proud of? Introduce yourself a bit. Okay? So I'm going to start on this side. Stand up. You got to stand up to project, right? What's up the diaphragm? Okay? Oh, there's got to be something. What? Something that sets you apart from everybody else. You're short? You find that comes in handy? Like crawl into small spaces? Yes? I mean, you've done that before? You're like, I can't reach this thing under the couch. Lindsay, come here. You're small. You can get to it, right? Yeah, see? That's awesome. Honestly, I would rather be shorter than taller. Here's why. If I'm short, I can always get a ladder. Right? If you're too tall, you can only scrunch down so far. So yes, make the most of it. Awesome. Never owned a pet. Is that, you say that's something you're proud of, so you don't want a pet? No desire. No, animals. I love it. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's awesome. Never owned a pet. Next up. You're a soccer player. Position? Okay. So do you go more for the goals or the assists? Assists. Okay. Nice. You enjoy that? Good job. That's awesome. All right. I played soccer as a young lad. I was usually on defense. Get out of my half of the field. Great. Okay. Say again? You're not going to get corona. I mean, that's pretty awesome that you are like Certain of that. How do you know? Masks. You are all about the safety procedures. You've got this locked down, taking all precautions, right? You've got the hand sanitizer after you leave every room. Oh. Uh-oh. Maybe. That's because you've done the research yourself, and you are confident that that is not a necessary step. Sure. You want to do a little more of that research. Just so you are sure, okay? It's an admirable goal. I like it. All right, folks at home, we turn to you. You're going to have to unmute your mic. We'll start at the top, work our way down the list. So, Angel, let's hear from you first.
You want me to go first?
Yes, please.
I'm Angel Lopez. I don't have anything that makes me up.
What was that? You don't know?
No.
Anything you can think of. What makes you stand out? Something you do well? You have a skill, a passion?
I don't know. Nothing really makes me stand out.
Really? Do you win more Fortnite than you lose?
What?
Do you win more Fortnite than you lose?
Okay.
There you go. Go with that. Good at Fortnite.
That makes me up.
That makes you awesome. I like that. I play video games. I don't play Fortnite specifically.
I don't know. I'm good at games, I guess.
That counts. That counts. Right?
It counts?
Absolutely. Be proud of that. I told you, I like games. There's a... All right, thank you, Angel. I have seen more and more studies out of various video game skills and how that can translate to real world. And people, they're good at the fast-running video games, got faster reflexes. That's actually useful. Okay? So don't discount it too much. But that doesn't mean you can play games instead of doing your math work. Okay? All right. Next up, Gina.
I'm Gina.
Good.
And I like to play volleyball.
Volleyball, huh? You got a favorite position there?
I play right side.
Right side. Favor the right side. Okay. Is there something special about the right side? What's that?
I'm a right side hitter.
Oh, okay. So because you're right-handed, the right side. Okay, that makes sense. I get you. All right, that's awesome. Volleyball is incredibly fun. I do enjoy some volleyball every once in a while, right? So I'm glad you're good at it because I am not. Terrible at volleyball. Awesome. Next up, Jocelyn.
My name is Jocelyn.
Good. You've had all this time and all these examples.
I just say my favorite color.
Sure.
Can I have a favorite color?
Purple. Okay. I like purple. Purple's a nice color. Now, I've got to ask you, how favoritist of a color is it? Like, is your whole room purple?
No.
No? Oh, I'm disappointed. But given the option, you always buy the purple version of anything, yes? Yeah, there you go. All right. You got a passion and you stick to it. That's awesome, right? Honestly, you'll stand out if you can stick to that color scheme. People will start to notice, be like, oh, that's the girl, she's always got the purple. And they'll know you, they'll recognize you. That's a very useful tool. Right? All right, thank you for sharing. All right, one more thing then. Part of the morning announcements, Dr. Odiati said that life is not an elevator, it's a staircase. Right? There's no shortcuts, you gotta put in the work to get to where you're going. Makes sense to me. However, the staircase, in my opinion, is far too easy. Staircase, yes, it can be exhausting, it can be tiring to climb all those stairs, but it's a simple, straightforward path. It's clear, you know exactly what you're doing. It's repetition, same step over and over and over again. There's no thought required. That is not life. Life is like a rock climbing wall. Right? It is far more challenging. You have no idea where you're going. You have no idea how to get there. You're trying to aim for the top, but maybe you have to go this way. Or, oh, wait, nope. This hole looks nice. I'm going to grab that one. And then you realize, oh, there's not another good hole after that. Oh, I don't know where to go. So you go back down, maybe shuffle over to the side, try another path. You got to figure life out. You got to try things, back up, try different things. That's rock climbing. That's more like what life is like. Oh, and by the way, the whole time, you could slip and fall all the way down at any moment. Staircases are more straightforward. It's not as steep, right? But you have backup. You got a guy on the other end. That's us. That's our role. As teachers, we're here to help you. I can't do the work for you. But if you fall, I can catch you. Mostly. Right? It's okay to make mistakes here in high school. Right? We're on practice mode. Right? So we can help you recover. So when you get out there in the real world, there is no hope. You'll be more confident. Okay? That's my analogy. All right, enough about life. Let's talk about more important stuff. Let's talk about math. Here is the master schedule. This is, of course, available on Google Classroom. I encourage you to look at it early and often. Everything we're doing, everything we're going to do, literally, as I'm planning it out, you can look here and check. As soon as I know, it's on here. So for today, we're continuing our general analysis of what is this math thing, what is this geometry stuff, why is it important? And that's what we're going to look at now. The purpose of math study. What is it good for? Why would you even want to bother with this math thing? Why is math one of the classes you have to take? And so we're going to watch a video clip about that. And I actually have two video clips for you that are on the post. We're going to watch one of them in class. The other one is a little over 2 minutes long. It's fairly short. And you can watch that one on your own time at home. It's much funnier. Okay? So if you're into that and you need a little bit of humor to pick you up after the end of the day, I encourage you to watch that. We'll watch the other one, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. And then you will respond and answer this question of why is math so important? What's the big deal? Now here's where the whole technology breaks down, because I'm trying to stream YouTube to YouTube. thing went black. Oh, it's thinking. Progress. Come on, little machine, you can do it. Poor MacBook Air. These are not designed for this.
We are being sent America's news
Oh.
headlines.
Well, it's loading the ad. Of course, it always loads. Isn't that always the case? The ad loads better than the video? Oh, goodness.
No longer provided. And Joshua Phillip, senior
Almost there.
investigative reporter with the Epoch Times. We stand for truth and tradition. 90% of the news outlets in the United States are controlled by 6 corporations.
Skip it. Excellent.
Hi, I'm Matt Parker, and these are my top 5 favorite mathematics.
All right, let that buffer a little bit. Matt Parker is a mathematician and a comedian. He does comedy about math, which I find absolutely hilarious. You might think it's hilarious that somebody can find that hilarious, okay? But he really does. And so he's got a whole channel called Stand Up Maths. Hey, you can look him up. I will have probably several more clips of him throughout the year. It's fun stuff. Okay? He's a great guy. And he wrote a book, actually, all about math errors in the real world. People who made a mistake and the possibly catastrophic results thereof. And so here are just a few highlights, a few short stories about what happens.
First up, number 2. In 1983, Air Canada Flight 143 was taking off from Edmonton flight to Montreal and calculated how much fuel the Boeing 767 would require for that flight. But they calculated it in kilograms, and then they fueled it using pounds. The problem is, a pound is less than half a kilogram. So the aircraft had about half as much fuel as it required. Amazingly, they had to stop in Ottawa halfway through the flight. There, the fuel would be checked,
Oh, good.
and it could
They'll get to fix it, right?
But sadly, they made exactly the same mistake, and the aircraft took off again without adding extra fuel. Sure enough, it ran out mid-air, and the pilot, who thankfully used to be a glider pilot, had to fly a Boeing 767 with no power and glide it to a nearby disused runway. Amazingly, no one died. Number 4, spreadsheets. The European Spreadsheet Risk Interest Group, which is a real organization, I'm a big fan of their work, they have calculated that 24% of all spreadsheets have some kind of calculation in them have a mathematical error. But how wrong can a spreadsheet go? Well, in 2012, JP Morgan Chase lost a decent amount of money because of a series of spreadsheet blunders. It's difficult to put an exact amount of money on it because they're obviously being paid about the whole thing, but estimates seem to be around $6 billion lost because of poor spreadsheet use. One mistake was someone
If you use spreadsheets at your CWSP job,
taking their average.
I'm going to take notes.
And billions of dollars gone. Number 3, the street signs in the UK for football teams are geometrically incorrect. The classic football is made of hexagons and pentagons. The dark patches are pentagons, 5 sides. But on a street sign, the
Right,
symbol
Leo?
for stadium is a football with dark patches. They're hexagons, 6 sides. They're not hexagons, they're pentagons. Not only is the sign wrong, it's actually impossible. The worst type of wrong. It is mathematically impossible to make a closed ball shape entirely out of hexagons. We can prove that you cannot do that. So the street signs in the UK for football stadium simply cannot work. And you know, I have
We'll definitely look at alternate football designs next semester.
So far, they have refused. The government in the UK doesn't think that street signs need to be geometrically enforced.
Can't count on anybody.
In 1995, Pepsi ran a promotion where they would buy their products, collect 2 points, and then trade them into things like t-shirts, leather jackets, sunglasses, stuff you needed in 1995. In their commercial, they hilariously showed a Harrier II jump jet and said that for 7 million points you could get the jet. It was intended to be a joke until people noticed that you could buy Pepsi points 10 cents each. This would only cost you $700,000 plus the dollars for shipping and handling. Who was going to get that kind of money together? Someone called John Lennon. He actually got the money together, put it in an account, applied for the jet. Pepsi said no, his lawyers said yes. It went to court, and Pepsi won. It turned out it was a joke. They had to change the ad to be 700 million points instead. But why? I have no idea. But they didn't just start with that. They just picked 7 million and didn't check if that was big. And finally, Mass Wonder number 7, the series of civilization computer games where you have your own civilization and compete against famous world leaders from present and history has been incredibly popular. And sold
I like this game.
23 million copies.
One of
The
them
first
is
version came out in 1991. People
good
noticed
times.
that then, instead of being peace-loving, kept dropping nuclear weapons on other civilizations. Why was Gandhi
It's not very nice.
so aggressive? It turns out, in the code, when they were programming the game, they initially set Gandhi's aggressiveness rating to be 1. But then, when civilization strategy became more civilized, they reduced all the leaders' aggression ratings by 2. So Gandhi went down to 0, and then, well, in computer memory, you don't go down to negative numbers. You roll around to the maximum possible value. Suddenly Gandhi was as aggressive as he could be. And ever since that first version of the game, they have left that in as a tribute to the original programming mistake. There is a whole generation of people who grew up playing these games who associate Gandhi with unnecessary nuclear strikes. So what can you learn from the incredible maths? Well, for a start, people get maths wrong all the time. Maths is difficult. Humans are just not good at doing mathematics. You know, don't take it personally. Even mathematicians struggle. A mathematician is not someone who finds maths easy. It's someone who enjoys how difficult it is. Thank goodness there are people out there working away at mathematics, trying to get it correct, and they put together the maths and technology which underpins our modern society and keeps us all safe.
Okay. So some interesting stories, yes? Right? Crazy things happening. $6 billion lost. Oh my goodness. It's nuts. Makes it kind of sound a little more critical, right? Maybe I better double check that arithmetic again this time. Okay, maybe your homework, doesn't have quite as much hanging in the balance. But it's those very same skills that one day might, right? Now, I want to draw your attention to the end of the video, the bit he said after the stories, where he said, math is hard, and that human brains are in fact not good at doing math. That's good news, as it should be, for most of you, right? Because when you realize that not only is everybody not hardwired for math, you're not hardwired for math. Your brain doesn't do that well naturally, right? Human brains are very good at a few things naturally. You're very good at recognizing patterns, right? I can draw a bunch of random shapes on the board, and your brain will interpret that and come up with a pattern automatically, right? In fact, human brains are very good at finding patterns where none actually exists. That's how good they are. Same with faces, right? You are very good at recognizing faces. So good, in fact, you can look at something that's clearly not a face and see a face anyway. You ever stared at the carpet long enough, or the texture on the ceiling or the wall, and slowly your brain starts to put together like, oh, this shading right here, that could be the nose, and here's a couple eyes, and it forms a face. Right? Try it sometime. Find faces on everything. We're really good at that. That's what our brains are designed to do. Right? We are social creatures. Your brain is really good at making social connections. And that's one reason why this whole ordeal this year is so difficult. You've got to stay away from people. No, humans are great with people. They're not so great with numbers. The human brain really only keeps track of 4 things at a time. Honestly. I've thought about including a full article on this notion for us to read at some point, but I'll give you the short summary here. We can understand 0. That, the idea of not having stuff, that makes it okay. We can have no things. We understand 1 thing. We can distinguish 2 things. We can even distinguish 3 things pretty well. Our brain can hold 3 separate ideas. Look at 3 desks together and understand the separation. When we hit 4, things get iffy. Your brain starts to automatically group stuff together. You cannot think of 4 desks individually, separate, independent items easily. Your natural tendency, your brain is going to group them together. 4 becomes 2 groups of 2. It simplifies things. So this is great for a memory trick. If you're trying to remember stuff, to chunk them together, your brain is really good at that. So you can make use of that. But it also means bigger numbers are more challenging for your brain just to understand them, let alone do arithmetic. Right? Early caveman counting was really simple. It went 1, 2, a lot. That was it. We didn't bother distinguishing between 5, 6, and 7 because it was more than enough. Right? You could hold something in 1 hand, 2 hands, or was it too much to hold? There was no need to make that distinction. As civilization grows, and we'll talk more, we'll see more about the history of math tomorrow. Right? We had to invent tools and tricks to trick our mind into understanding these things. We're not naturally inclined to do this well. Now, why is that good news? It should be a big sigh of relief. Anyone who has ever thought, oh, I'm no good at math. I've never been good at math. I'm bad at math. A lot of people like to say that. But yeah, it's true. Everybody's bad at math. Right? It requires work to get good at it. Right? Leo, were you born playing soccer? No, you had to work at it, right? You learn to walk, and you learn to run, and you learn to kick, and then you learn how to run better and faster and more efficiently, and kick, and you get the fancy moves, and you flip the ball up and spin it around, right? You learn how to control it. You develop skill. Right? Same with math. You have to practice and develop skill with it. It takes work. That's okay. Some people might find that work a little easier than others, but that's not what makes a mathematician. Remember what he said. A mathematician is not someone who finds math easy. It's someone who enjoys the challenge. You like it because it's hard. Okay? Leo, I'm going to pick on you again. You're going to play in a soccer match. You have your choice. 2 teams to face off against. 1 team, worst team ever. Absolute garbage. They're terrible. In fact, the actual team members are all 4 years old, okay? It's a joke. It's not even a game, okay? The other team, all stats match your team perfectly equally. They are your equal, your rival. You've been back and forth with these guys forever, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes they win. Which is going to be more satisfying to play against? Exactly. Isn't it going to be harder? Sometimes you want to take the easy route. I can totally understand that. But in the end, it's more satisfying to face that challenge, overcome it, and say, hey, they had all the same stats. It could have gone either way, but we won, right? We did it. We defeated that. Anybody could beat the 4-year-olds, okay? That's not an accomplishment. You don't announce yourself and be like, I am Mr. Apple, and I beat 4-year-olds at soccer. That'd be weird. But if you beat your rivals at soccer, that's great. That's an accomplishment. Right? Same with math. We're going to do hard problems this year. It's going to get tough. Right? But that's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it fun and satisfying. Right? We'll try things, we'll fail, we'll try different things, we'll keep moving around. And thankfully, none of our homework will lead to loss of $6 billion. Right? So you can make mistakes. It's okay. We'll learn from them. Okay, questions at this point? Questions on Discord? All right, then I have but one more question for you. Posted to Google Classroom for today is our assignment. A single question. What is the purpose of studying math? So we got to see some reasons why you might want to study math so you avoid mistakes in the video. I talked about some useful skills you can develop from that. So I want you to take that information, synthesize it all together, and write me a nice juicy paragraph. Okay? Bigger and more packed the better in response to this question. Keep going. We've got the whole rest of the period to spend on this. Which for us now is, what is this one? 1:40. 10 minutes. Okay? Take the next 10 minutes. Write the best paragraph you possibly can in response to this. Include as much detail, many ideas that come to mind. Okay? Go ahead and take out your Chromebook. Should be there on Google Classroom, probably the second thing on the screen. Okay, same for you at home on the Discord. Go ahead and start working on your answer to this question. Risk blowing everything up to switch to 7th period. To the video stream, and there we go. There's the question. Loading in. Your students from the other days have already answered. Got 3 more minutes. Keep on working. I'm going to close down the YouTube stream here.